Target Trading Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Preston Vogl here at Target Trading Academy with today's Micros Market Recap. Let's get right into it. It is 4:02 p.m. Wednesday, March 22nd. Today was the FOMC announcement, and yes, it looks like they're going to raise rates just slightly. Let's get right into it. As far as oil goes, we opened gap up from that close that was down here, had initial buying, and then we got to the close. They found a floor for those buyers to leap off of. You can see once, I'm going to move that away out of the side. Once they made their way back outside, they came back down, hit that HVA edge, and used it as support to climb higher. Now, all this nonsense was with the FOMC announcement. In reality, this morning was very slow. All that hubbub was generated just prior and during and through that announcement till the close here. And you'll see that more so in the equities. But ultimately, we are closing net positive, not down, in oil. As far as gold goes, gold opened inside of its range, slightly above its close, which was right here. They got that, bounced off that HVA edge, had a little playback at that one above it, stalled at that one once they got back up to it. And then, yes, you can see, well, that's that 2 o'clock. Gold's already closed. Boom, the FOMC. And you can see how well those levels still held during that chaos. Ultimately, yes, we did also close positive in gold. Now, we are closing negative in our equities. If we can just zoom out and scroll back, we can give you a picture of how the morning was. So this is all the action that took place before lunch during the pit session. Very congested, very little expansion out. I mean, this was that brick, that first hour. It was painful just to watch. Did get some hope to potentially get some trending entries, but it was just very choppy, not worth trading at all. And then lunchtime came around. Finally, something presented. Several students had the opportunity to take that entry if they were awake during lunch. But then ultimately that FOMC news announcement came out, and you can just see that 2 o'clock, the chaos was unleashed, and it just new highs, round trip, new highs with the round trip, thinking they're going to take it up higher, and then they came back down yet again for another round trip. This time they're going south. Well, they got close to that edge, and then, let's see if we can test the highs. They couldn't make it past that HVA edge. Well, they made it a little bit. They bled through and then came back down, and then ultimately, with the last few minutes, they continued back down. So they had the round trip. Sellers were in charge. They got stuffed at that edge, and they were brought down here with potential entries, both long and short here. Both those are winners. This one on this side was a massive winner if any of the students were able to take that. I think just dropped like a rock. Quite frankly, this one did too. With that being said, and then in the NASDAQ, let's see here. Similar story. It's just that crazy. Very consolidated today and congested. Let's go back to that opening. You can just see that first 30 minutes, just sideways action. Now, we did have an entry set up in the NASDAQ this morning, which was pretty much the only one in the equities to give us anything. Ultimately, did make new highs. So there was a little bit more participation or volatility in the NASDAQ than there was in the ES in terms of range movement or range extension. And that's kind of normal for the NAS. Usually has those more volatile moves. And then, as you can see, that FOMC just shredded that market. And it stayed above water for the most part, made new highs continually. And then it wasn't until we neared that close of the day where the market just started coming down that you can see just puked. So we are closing net down in the NASDAQ as well. If you are interested in learning more information about the methodology or how you can get these levels on your chart the night before, yes, I said that right, the night before you can get these levels onto your chart, feel free to reach out to us. We are Target Trading Academy. You can find us on Facebook, or go to our website at targettrading.co. Again, that is targettrading.co. Get in touch with a representative at either location. They'll gladly show you what we do in our rooms each and every day, and you'll be able to see for yourself why we are the #1 trading education company in the world. Look forward to seeing you there.